talk. Let me speak my piece. It's for all my dogs, coming straight off the leash. She kill 'em all like the Reaper. I need a girl like Meka. She jumping out the gym on all them hoes. Shorty came straight out the bleachers. Hey, she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, she came through with the combo, cause shorty too lavish. Hey, that girl she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, look, she came straight with the combo. Hey, look, let me talk my talk. Let me speak my piece. It's for all my dogs, coming straight off the leash. She kill 'em all like the Reaper. I need a girl like Meka. She jumping out the gym on all them hoes. Shorty came straight out the bleachers. Hey, she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, she came through with the combo, cause shorty too lavish. Hey, that girl she the baddest. Hey, that girl too bad. Hey, look, she came straight with the combo.
Details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, wet band, and still familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space. Welcome to From the DMV Live with Meka. I'm your host, Meka. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me so I can make sure that I'm, coming through clearly. Can everybody hear me? No, our sound is not on. Give me one moment and I'll be right back with you. I'm muted, it seems like. Now, where are the... Wait, nothing says mute even, though. Now, last time I had to mute and unmute. Okay. Is that it? No, I don't hear anything. Why would everything be off? So now I have no sound. This is craziness. I don't believe we have any sound, do we? No. BRB. Let's put on another video then while we're waiting, while I'm trying to figure this out. Let's do the prom. Details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, wet band, and still familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025.
Give me my power and I give you down. You better come on with it, y'all. Hey, I get down with the ball. Hey, now I'll be the river man and do the damn thing. The man come on now and do the damn thing. Hey, now I'll be the river man and do the damn thing. Let's go now, yeah.
All right, welcome back to From the DMV Live with Meka. I'm your host, Meka. I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me in the chat, please let me know. Let me actually check it out on my end as well. Whoops, I didn't cut off my banner, so all you see is be right back. I'm actually back. Sorry about that. Welcome back. So our guest for today is going to be Sean Miles. So his name is Sean Miles, but his nickname, of course, is Smiles. Isn't that so cool? He's on his way. He's stuck in traffic. If you know anything about traffic around this studio, you know it's always crazy. So while we're waiting for him, I'm going to shoot back to the video I was just playing. Not the first one, but just to give you all a little behind the scenes from the adult prom. I don't know if you heard about the first adult go-go prom that was hosted by Rayo Rose. This is just a little behind the scenes for you. Right after we show a quick word from our sponsors, who is the Fort Lauderdale Fiesta. If you have not reserved your space, please make sure you do. Go to celebrityfiesta.com to reserve your space. It only costs $50 for a down payment as far as for your reservation. Please go look on there for more information. They're going to have new impressions. There's going to be Still Familiar and details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, wet band, and Still Familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. All right, I clicked that a little fast. So as I was saying, they're going to have new impressions, Still Familiar, and Wet Band performing. So there's different performances. There's a yacht party. There's all types of events, something for everybody. You definitely don't want to miss out on that. So here is a view from the adult prom, and then we'll be back with our Thankful Thursday thought of the day, and we'll get started with our interview in just a few.
Hey, give me my power when I give me my power when I Hey, Ron, give me my power when I You better come on with it, y'all. Hey, I get down with the ball. Hey, now I'll be the river man and do the damn thing. The man come on loud and do the damn thing. Hey, now I'll be the river man and do the damn thing. Let's go now, dang.
Welcome back. We are here and we're finally ready to get into action. I finally have resolved all my technical difficulties. There are several every week, as you may know. It's sort of my thing, you know. Maybe one day I'll be in IT. Who knows? My guest, as I told you, is Sean Miles, Mr. Smiles, of not only Black Alley. He's worked with Snoop. He's worked with Lettuce. Who have you not worked with, Mr. Smiles, sir? Who have you not worked with? Say hello to the people.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Smiles from Washington, D.C. I was born in Southeast. I live in the DMV. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Shout out to the DMV, of course. Also, we are, repping through. We always are, I would say, right?
Absolutely.
So, welcome to wearegogomusic.com. Welcome to From the DMV Live with Meka. But more importantly, welcome to a lavish conversation. Because as I told you, I have lavish conversations. I feel like every conversation you have is a lavish conversation because you have the opportunity to have it. And there's somebody else who honestly wishes that they were here to have it,
Very true.
Not just that, you have the opportunity to pour your light, shine your light, pour your knowledge on other people. And that's just invaluable, I'd say, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
So growing up in this area, as we say, in the area.
Yeah, that's it.
What would you say was the best part of being Little Sean? Did everybody call you Smiles from the beginning? Like, it seems like they made your name for the nickname. Did they?
Yeah, so actually I got the nickname when I was starting out my musical career.
Oh, really?
And it actually came about when I was working at Guitar Center.
Oh.
I was at Seven Corners, Virginia, and I was in Pro Audio. And the way the story went was actually perfect. So I'm a kid in the candy store when I was working there. So pretty much what happened was I was always checking out new gear, always going to different departments, going just to learn. I was a sponge and I loved it. But in that process, so Guitar Center is a sales position. That's the position I had. And I really wasn't selling. I was more so like learning the new gear, and then somebody would come in and be like, so yeah, you want to purchase this? What he just showed you? And they would take my sale, which was fine because I really wasn't there for that.
Although the commission could have helped, right?
The commission definitely could have helped, but I was also gigging and working.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing both.
So you really were there.
Yeah. But what happened was when I was working there, we had our signs, our name badges and everything. And so anyway, so I was in back of the loading dock and I was helping with some gear. And they had this intercom where they would call people out and everything for customers. And so they were like, smiles to the floor, smiles to the floor. So I ignored it. And my boy was back there and he looked down at my name badge, so my name is Sean Miles. So, but they gave us S. Miles. They took my first name away. So what happened was, my boy was like, yo, I think that's you. So I was like, I don't know. So I went to the front and it was this older woman. I helped them. They were a church establishment and they were trying to get like a new organ and some keyboards and everything. So when I walked out there, she said, Smiles, and had this big hug ready for me. And so all the employees saw it and heard it and they shouted out, Smiles, like joking around, making fun of me.
Cool,
but the name stuck literally from that moment.
I mean, you have to, with a name like Smiles or a nickname like Smiles. I'm surprised your parents didn't name you for that. That was such a given, right?
Yeah, it ended up being a great situation.
You know how people say, be careful what you name your kid, right? Like, they named you like the perfect name. Because when you think of your name, how can you really be but so down when somebody's calling you Smiles all the time?
Yeah, I smile a lot. I ain't go front at work now, so.
So I have to tell you, I always have a Thankful Thursday thought of the week, right? My Thankful Thursday thought of this week is just to get by.
Just to get by, okay.
Just to get by. Because no matter what, life is going to keep moving, right? No matter what we do, no matter how we take things. However, you just got to do enough. You just got to keep yourself above water just enough to get by that rough patch for you to see the sunshine. You know what I'm saying? For you to see that rainbow at the end of the rain, Yeah. I'm saying. So this week, all right, I started out. I didn't tell you. I was waiting for Miles to get here. Well, for Smiles to get here. I don't know what to call you. It's hard to call you Miles or Sean.
You know what? It's funny. A lot of people mix it up.
You have
so
3 first names.
Yeah, I do. Ricky Bobby. I definitely have
Ricky Bobby.
2, 3 first names. But no, people call me Sean Miles. Those are my day ones. Anybody that says Sean Miles, that I grew up with them.
Okay.
But then they call me Smiles, which is the newer name. And then some people, actually I have 4, so some people call me Miles. Like
I was about to say.
And that's obviously a reference to Miles Davis, things of that nature. But women, actually not just women, actually everybody, sometimes they'll say Smiley.
I like that too.
I like it, but it's not really what
I
my
know.
name is.
You like
so
that, it's
I
not
just
me.
go with it and just be like, yeah, Smiley. Hey, how you doing? So yeah.
That makes sense. But so this week, right? It started off Sunday. I was in the hospital. My blood pressure was like through the roof, you know. So I'm like, okay, you know, that was resolved. Everything's fine. It's Monday. I'm good, right? Feeling good, feeling great. Come Tuesday, I'm doing an interview. Shout out to Shaka the actor. If you all don't follow him on social media, please check him out. We're in the middle of an interview. We're about 28 minutes in, right? And all of a sudden, I see Wendy Williams flash before my eyes.
Oh no!
I start getting really hot. And I'm like, maybe it's just a hot flash. So I'm like, oh, you know, I'm over 40. Ha, ha, ha. And as I'm doing my little laugh, I'm like, wait a minute. I can't see straight. Wait, I'm about to die on air. You know, I was just like, get off camera. Get off camera. So I get off camera. He has to call the ambulance for me and everything. It was craziness. Definitely an event. But just to get by, here we are on Thursday, and I'm good. I'm great. I'm ready to get it.
That's
you know
good.
what I'm saying?
Thank God.
You just got to press through. That's all I'm saying. So back to you, though. With regard to little Sean growing up in the DMV out in Southeast, around Southeast.
Right.
What was it like? Who was little Sean? What was the dream then?
So little Sean was not a musician.
Mm-hmm.
I was nowhere close to music. I actually was a basketball player. And I'm talking about like buying Michael Jordan's books, learning what he, you know, his whole process, going to hang out in monkey bars before everybody gets there to try to get taller, trying to learn to dunk. Like I was that guy, but I was a hybrid. So initially we were living in Southeast and then we moved to Maryland in Hyattsville. So a lot of people, you have to know it from the city, but 500. So pretty much I grew up around there. And pretty much from there, I was actually just like, I had friends that was just more into sports. And how I actually started doing music, and I was just on the phone with my brother. A lot of people don't know this, but this story goes how I actually really got into music. First instrument I played was trumpet. And so what happened was I had a friend that was sneaking us in his house to, you know, play video games and eat cereal and, you know, doing the young boy thing. But he was definitely afraid of his mother. His mother used to wear his tail. Him and his brother. Shout out to Bobby and Dwayne. I don't know. I haven't talked to them in over 20 years. But anyway. So we were hanging at their crib. And my friend Bobby, well, I'm sorry. It was, which one is it? Is it Bobby or is it Dwayne? It was Bobby. So Bobby had like a temper. And he used to take this old beat up trumpet. I'm talking about, had all these things, and it pretty much had some, I don't want to censor it, but it's like, you know,
we're uncensored.
We're uncensored. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm talking about like dried up blood. Like he
goodness.
used to take this thing and try, like he would fight a lot.
Right, okay.
And pretty much he used to use it to, you know, to fight. If he was getting
he played the trumpet and he beat you down with the trumpet?
No. So he actually used this trumpet as a weapon.
Oh, period.
It was only a weapon. And he kept it and everything in his house. And I used to always try to stop him from fighting. And me and my brother, we are pacifists by nature or whatever. And so we would try to get him to stop. So one time we were in his house, we playing video games, eating cereal and joking. And he got word his mom was on his way home. And he was trying to definitely get us out of the house quickly. And I said, cool, I'm going to get out. But look, I want to learn how to play trumpet.
Oh, really?
I want to take this trumpet. And he was like, nah, you're not taking this. You know what I do with this.
Right.
Like, I'm not leaving unless you give me this trumpet. And he was, like I said, definitely afraid of his mother. So he gave it to us. Gave it to me and my brother. And I took it home, cleaned it up. And my mom bought me a mouthpiece for it. And I think by that time I was maybe in the 3rd or 4th grade. And I took it to school and joined like the concert band.
Wait, so you just taught yourself though? Like basically, that's what basically happened, right?
I didn't teach myself. I went to school and expressed to them that I wanted to be a part of the band and everything. And so from there, cool. I tapped into the music space.
But what made you suddenly say, I want to play your weapon?
It was literally me trying to stop him from fighting.
So you were like, I'm gonna just take it home.
I asked him to take. I said, I'm not going to leave until I can take this home. With
That
me.
is so...
And I kept it, and I wish to God I still had it because this thing would be gold to me right now. But of course. You're young and impressionable, and obviously that was all beat up. And when I saw that the school would give me a newer trumpet, that trumpet just got discarded. So,
we all do that and look back like should have kept it. You didn't know what greatness you were about to achieve, did you? Had no idea.
It was the start of me actually being in music. Now, so technically, my mom was the one who really got me into music, and I didn't want to be. She had a
piano lessons. Oh, singing.
At
church.
I did not. So church came in a little later. It was no. Technically, it was at church first. We were in a group, church youth choir called Rice, and they were at Alabaptist Baptist Church on what is that? Rhode Island Avenue.
Okay.
Yep. So what is that? That's northeast.
Yeah, northeast.
Yes.
So they started you off. So she started you off singing with them.
Yeah, and we didn't like it.
Are you a singer?
I did not like it. I am not a singer. Let me get close to this mic and say I am not a singer. Even though some people that I work with try to get me to sing, I'm not a singer.
You're like, I can hold a tune. There's a difference between holding a tune and being a singer.
Tune, yes. And I've been in some situations where I've had to sing. So but not lead ever. I'm never leading anything.
Yeah, I'm a backup singer myself.
Exactly.
A really good one, but I'm a backup singer definitely.
That's cool. Yeah, but no, I started off singing, and my mom never had us in the Joe Jackson space.
Yeah,
but she had me, my brother, and my sister try to get us to sing like "Oh Happy Day." And we sound, we could hold a tune. We were good.
That's pretty cool.
But my mom would try to get us to sing when company came over.
Of course. And how did that go?
We hated it. We hated it every time. I mean, it was never fun. It was never fun. But the worst of that was, shout out to my friend Tynette Daniels. She's a singer as well, out of the DMV. We were going to Thomas Stone Elementary School.
Shout out to Thomas Stone. My daughter graduated from there.
Oh, nice. Okay. So we were in honors course. And we got selected. At the time, we were the only two black people the school was black, but we got selected to sing in honors course. Just me and Tynette to go into this larger choir.
Oh.
And it was mainly like white folks there, and it was only me and Tynette. I had a high voice back then. So it was kind of special.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. But I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I wanted to play basketball, and I was cool with trumpet, but I really just wanted to play basketball.
I think that speaks a lot to even my Thankful Thursday thought of the day, just to get by, right? Because even in that moment, had you not had these opportunities, think about what wouldn't have formulated. You didn't even know what was brewing, but all the little ingredients for this recipe were just coming together.
I had no clue.
That's crazy. Like, it reminds me of all the times that I had speaking, they were opportunities, but they felt like obligations when I was growing up. Like, I would get shoved to the front to speak. And all those times I got forced to speak now make it so that I just feel comfortable speaking, and that's what I do.
Shout out to you, because I struggled. This interview alone was going to be nerve-wracking for me.
Why? You're doing great.
Thank you.
And you have such a great story. You have such a great disposition anyway. I don't know if everybody knows that, since you're, not on the front line. You don't necessarily grab the mic and stuff, but you definitely have a great disposition, great
I appreciate
vibe to you. Your vibration is always high from what I've seen, even when you're sick.
Oh my God. Yes, that's right. Yeah, you came to the studio and I was, oh man, yes. I was not doing well, but I was happy to be out and about. So.
Yeah, that's the important part. Definitely getting out and keeping moving, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can't play possum. Exactly. Yeah. So, tell me, with regard to your evolution. Now, I know, name some of the people. I didn't name drop really for you. I did a little bit, and I know you're not a name droppy person anyway. But can you just give us just a rundown real quick? A couple of the people that you've had the pleasure of, working with. Who was the first major person you worked with, actually?
Oh, man, the
first time you said, hold up now. You looked around the room and said, wait a minute.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. I never thought about that. Who was the first? Man,
Good
that is
question.
a really good question. I never have thought about who was the first because I don't know. I'm not going to say everybody's lumped together because everybody is very, very unique. I would say, and this is actually kind of crazy to say, but I think the first person that was a major, major star, and it's kind of it's a good story, but it's not a good story for me. I wish I knew what I knew now
About
then.
the star.
About what to do.
Okay.
So one of my first major artists that I worked with was David Foster.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know who David Foster is.
Yeah, that's not a little name.
That is not a little name. Anybody, if y'all, I mean, he has his own Netflix special right now, like this. But anyway, I got a chance. I was playing for an artist, and obviously this is another big artist as well. Whatever. His name is Fred Yannet, and he's from France, as a matter of fact. But yeah, he lives here. He's one of the best.
I don't know if everybody's heard of Freddie Yannet, but
so Fred Yannet is I think he's DMV based now, but and shout out to him and his wife Carla. They live in the DMV, but they are like world renowned, like people that are connected.
Awesome.
I mean, his wife actually is Dave Chappelle's publicist and everything, and Fred Yannet has just played pretty much that juke joint thing that David did.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Fred Yannet was a part of the band and pretty much curated the band and curated the space. But Fred, so we were actually going to go. But actually, man, I can't believe this. David Foster and Kenny G were the two first people that I played for.
Come on now,
Kenny G.
Look at that. Look at that, and you didn't make a note of that in your head, like
you know. The thing is, when it's happening,
right? Say that.
So
when it's happening.
So first of all, my mom and dad are performers as well. So they kind of taught me early, it's okay to be nervous. Yeah. Because they were saying nerves is actually a good sign.
That's important to know.
It reminds you that you're human. Yeah. Anytime I get to the point where I'm performing, like honestly, to be straight up, I'm nervous every time I play. Whether I'm in a church service or whether I'm in a stadium with 50,000 people or I'm playing to 5 people, I'm still have that hint of nervousness or whatever because I just want to do well. Yeah. Know? And that's really what my mom kind of says.
I think that's what that tells you. It tells you that what you're doing is actually important to you. It actually matters, you know, which is important for somebody that's coming to see you, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you want somebody to value.
Absolutely. Like my natural vibe and energy is to speak to people. I don't necessarily want to speak over your head. Yeah. You know, so musically, I translate that. You know, from what I do. So I want to play to, you know, I want to have a conversation with you. Right. Even if it's 15,000 people there or 5 people, I want to speak to you guys. Yeah. You know, from a musical standpoint. So
deep.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. He's deep, you guys. He's deep. Okay. But no, that's real talk though. Like those butterflies. Yeah, that's yours. Oh, so also, everybody, this is my birthday show. So my birthday is Sunday.
God. Oh, man, happy birthday. That's what's up.
Yes. And so for my birthday show, I bought cupcakes today. I don't normally feed people because I'm like, you can't talk, not eat. But I got because we're in Iverson Mall, in case you all don't know where the studio is, I got a snickerdoodle cupcake and I got a sweet potato one. And I figured the snickerdoodle one would be for you. Yes. Because you probably haven't been here in a while, right?
God, yes. And the funny thing. The funny thing, first of all, shout out to you. Thank you. Meka, happy birthday.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
48.
So, wow. Man, amazing 48. Man, Black really don't crack.
I'm just saying.
That's
Tell
them.
And I had a whole starting lineup. I'm just saying.
That's what's
if anybody wants to play ball, we're very unathletic, but we'll meet you on the court and we will talk trash. Like true Washington fans.
No, let me tell you, we were literally just talking about how the snickerdoodles are here in the Iverson Mall. So I went to, I was just in Tallahassee. Shout out to Chelsea Green.
Shout out to Chelsea.
And we were doing a show out there. And so I hung out with some friends and shout out to one of my other production partners with Star Makers, Alshon Bryant.
Shout out to Star Makers too.
Yeah, absolutely. So he actually relocated out near Tallahassee, and he pulled up to my show. It was like 2 hours away. I was like, "Bro, you drove? Thank you. That's love."
Yeah.
You know? And so we got a chance to hang, and he took me to a spot called Moe's Cookies, and I had a snickerdoodle cookie there.
You cheated.
No, yeah, technically.
You're cheating on the
But
DMV.
the funny thing is, yeah. So the funny thing is, he was asking. He was like, "Is this better than the DMV cookies?" I was like, "Honestly, it's not."
I think it's the nostalgia, though. You know what I mean? Because we're always like Forestville, Iverson, Forestville, Iverson.
Yeah.
I want to know: are the cookies really that good, or are we just like?
Nope. They are just that good.
I do feel hooked to them. I'm not gonna lie.
Are genuinely like some of the best. I mean, and the thing is, I've even done the chocolate chip and been sweet with those. But honestly,
the chocolate chip are good too.
They are really good. But I'm a chocolate head, so I'm hard on actual chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah,
and they're not as great, but they're good, really, really good. But
not to go down this rabbit hole, right? But have you had the chocolate chip cookies at 7-Eleven? Why are they so good? They're good. If you catch them when they're fresh, are you playing? You don't like them?
I'm gonna sip my tea.
Who's your chocolate chip? Who's your chocolate chip cookie of choice? If you could pick one anywhere.
That's a good question, and I don't have an answer because at some restaurants might have like really good chocolate chip cookies as a dessert after.
Well, we're talking about common ones that people could just grab, not make a reservation.
Right. No, you're right. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be generic. Tate's cookies. Tate's cookies are really good.
Those are good cookies.
Yeah. Tate's cookies is probably some of my favorites currently. But I was definitely like Chip Ahoy and all those other brands.
But that's Old Faithful for real.
Yeah.
Chips Ahoy.
You get the chocolate chip chewy ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. Yeah.
No, can I tell you a homemade chocolate? Okay, we're gonna switch subjects after this because I feel like I'm getting too excited. But the homemade chocolate chip cookies is where it's really at. Those Toll House chocolate chip cookies, nothing better than those things.
Perfect.
Like, and they're so easy to make. Why don't we make them more often? What's up with us as a society?
The funny thing is, I recently started getting into, I guess, cooking a little bit more. I'm not that great. Shout out to my wife. She is
Shout out to the wife for keeping you alive.
Cooking, and she doesn't like my cooking. No, she likes some of my breakfast stuff and maybe a few other dishes. But yeah, so she actually will bake like brownies and all these things. And I'll be like, oh my God, it's so good. But
what's her best meal?
So she's great at pastas, but she also, it's funny, like she'll make Mediterranean food styles, like situations.
Oh, really?
She'll do like I said, the Italian foods. We both love Italian food.
Okay.
So that's more so what she cooks a lot of, but she'll do tacos and everything. And oh my God, like, shout out to you, baby. I love you, man.
So I'll be waiting for my invite, Mrs. Smiles.
Okay. We'll
make
it
happen.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So now back to you. You were listing for us. I know you weren't trying to. That's probably why you switched to cookies. But list for me some of the people, not everybody, but some of the people that you've worked with. You visited Tiny Desk a few times now. You've been on Jimmy Fallon. You've done a whole lot. I know you're not probably keeping score. It probably feels like regular life to you, which it is your regular life, but it's not regular. Let me tell you, you're definitely extraordinary.
Well,
your accomplishments are, which means you probably are, right?
Well, thank you, first of all. This show gives their flowers. I love that.
Yes, that's the whole. I'm here to inspire and empower.
I do feel inspired. I appreciate that. And empowered. But I've worked with. So I'm sitting there. I have to write down the list. And I sent you the.
I can give you some. You've worked with Ruben Studdard. Go ahead, the big teddy bear, right? You worked with Lettucey. You worked with Raheem Devon.
Shout out to him. That's my guy.
I don't even know if he was on the list, but you've probably worked with Tank.
So I've never played for Tank.
You haven't?
I've never played, but in the group that he was in, I was
That's
Genuine.
what I was about to say.
I was with Genuine.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was his MD for a little while, and yeah, Genuine. Shout out to him, man. He's
MD, he means musical director, not doctor.
Right? Yes.
I'm just saying. Just wanted to be clear, you know.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, in musical terms, yes, I was his musical director and stuff or whatever. But yeah, Ruben Stutter, I played with Jada Kiss, MC Light, Angie Stone, Tweet. Shout out to Tweet. Shout out to Maya.
Tweet.
These are the girls that I currently am in music directors for, and they are some of the best. I mean, like, I've worked with some really, really great artists. And shout out to obviously mostly all the artists, but some artists are a bit much.
Yeah, and
but
some experiences are different than others.
Yeah. And you just never know sometimes with the way the wind is blowing with them.
Yeah.
I think as artists, and I had to include myself, like sometimes we're just in different moods and you just can't really explain it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to obviously try to give them that space and that reserve to be that way, because our creative minds, like, again, shout out to my wife. She has to deal with so many ways about me, and like, you know, I think creatives, we're a special bunch.
Definitely.
Special bunch. Yes,
definitely.
Yes. And so you just never kind of know the way the wind is blowing with all of us. But these two women, oh my God, like they're some of the best artists I've ever worked with, and the fact that we've been working together almost close to a decade now.
Wow.
Everything. Yeah, they're really, really like some of the best people to work with.
That says a lot. I mean, I can't lie though. I've never heard a bad word about Maya ever.
God,
From Roosevelt to shout out to Eleanor Roosevelt.
Yeah.
You know, and then all the way through, just period. You've never heard a bad thing about her. And then even for her, she's independent now, correct?
She's independent and
still
I'm
pushing,
still killing. We just got a call.
Matter of fact, I think we're the same age, and I think yes, I'm killing it for 48, but don't get it twisted, okay? I don't think I got Maya type of. I can't. You know,
she is
none
still
of it.
like. I mean, she works as if she's 18.
Like,
so we don't. Thankfully,
she also eats like she loves her body. But go ahead.
Yes, she's 100% vegan,
Yes.
and some of the band members don't always appreciate the vegan options she brings, but
I can imagine.
I appreciate it. I'm not gonna say anything about my guys, but yeah, some of the guys, they prefer they're carnivores.
That's
so
right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a good, you know.
And Maya has taken us like, you know, so many different places. Tweet has taken us so many different places, and so it really like actually Maya, we're going to Italy.
When?
In June.
Oh, cool!
So
that's
going
awesome.
to be fun. But yeah, to have authentic Italian food, I'm really, really looking forward to having that experience.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So wait, tell me something. How did you go from just Sean Miles in the band at school to Smiles? I'm doing stuff. I have a job. People are paying me to do what I like to do.
Yeah. So the switch happened in college. So I was supposed to go to Bowie State, and I didn't do really well on the SATs.
Okay.
So I had
standardized testing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I went to PG Community College to transfer over. But while I was there, I was actually really getting better as a piano player. And so I wasn't really going to my classes. Sorry, Mom. But I was hanging out in the lab area and in the common area where they had a piano there. And I was building crowds just from playing my favorite songs, from the Carl Thomases to the Minnie Rippletons to all these songs like Earth, Wind and Fire. I was just playing all these songs, and I was really just learning them. But it was having people come and congregate around the piano singing these songs. Do you know this? Do you know this? So it would make me be like, I want to go learn this song.
Right.
And as that developed, I was also working. I've had about 500 jobs prior to me becoming a full-time musician.
I feel like that's the story of most creatives.
Oh my God, yes.
Because all the other jobs are not quite where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So as you're finding your space, you know, it can be a little tumultuous.
Yes, absolutely. And so I was going to PG Community College, not going to class, and playing the piano. But after class was over, I was going to Giant Pharmacy to work in the pharmacy as a lab tech there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was working there, and that was funding my college, but also just I wanted to buy keyboards and get into production and everything and stuff. So pretty much in that process, I started getting calls for R&B gigs. I started playing. I don't know if you know about Evangel Cathedral.
Yes, who doesn't know about Evangel?
Cool.
Oh,
So
I guess some people don't, but
it's
it's a pretty big church. And if you know where Six Flags is, you know where Evangel is.
It's across the street there. But I wasn't playing at the main church. I was playing at the smaller building. And they had like a youth ministry. And so I wasn't really playing. I didn't grow up playing in church. I grew up singing a little bit in church, but not playing in church until my college times. And remember, I was playing all R&B. Right. I was playing R&B songs. I was playing I was playing Erykah Badu. I was playing India Arie. Right. And so shout out to my boy Jarmone Davis, who was the praise and worship leader at the church at the time. He saw that I was playing these songs this way, but he took it and flipped it and sang gospel lyrics over my R&B chorus.
Oh, that's so cool. Shout out to Jarmone. If you haven't checked out his new release, he has a new release that came out after our interview. It's on Apple Music.
Number one.
Yes, number one. It's
Shout
excellent.
Out yes, absolutely. So pretty much he kind of took what I was able to bring because I didn't know no church stuff. Like at the time, I didn't know anything.
You know, that's the given. That's the number one right there. If you ain't got nothing else, you know. But go.
I wasn't there, but I was learning. I like to describe myself as a chameleon. I just am a fan of music. Necessary. You know, fan of music in all styles. And so pretty much. I started playing there and I started gigging and eventually could quit my job and everything. And so that's pretty much where I transitioned to becoming Sean, the piano player, to Smiles, the keyboardist.
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So listen, tell me, I know, you know, you grew up around the time that I grew up, and unfortunately we weren't as encouraged as our children are to be creative, but you were raised by creatives. Yeah. So therefore, you probably had a little more like, oh, it's good that you're doing creative stuff, but I'm sure you had the other people in your ear just as well saying, what's your plan B? What's your plan B? Or when life started life and that starving musician moment happened or whatever, or things just became too overwhelming on the road even, just lifing. What can you give a moment to us about when life lifed on you or maybe hit you so hard and knocked you off your feet? And how did you get back up on your feet? How did you keep moving? How did you press forward?
So it's actually kind of hard to say this, but music has never really made me feel like I've missed, which is weird to say, because I've definitely had apartments and lost apartments, you know, because of maybe increases in finances or like, you know, certain situations where I could not, maybe I bit off more than I could chew. That's probably a better way
I think we all have had that experience, unfortunately.
But I don't know why, but I've never felt like, man, I'm just so far down that it's hard to get up because I've always had the outlet of music. Music has been encouraging. It's been, you know, time consuming where I don't even focus on the problems I'm having.
Right.
I would say that if there were times like that, it didn't last very long, you know, and the benefit. So is
music maybe the way that you did get yourself back up?
Absolutely.
Is that what did it then?
Because the conversation never ended. And that's music. You're having a constant conversation with it. And, you know, I don't know, it's just been there, you know.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Making sure nothing. Oh, Mel Robinson said, congratulations, brother.
Oh.
You have some new projects coming out, too. Speaking of which. right? Is that correct?
So you can let me cat out the bag. Oh no, I do have some
Coming
projects.
soon.
I thought you were talking about my own personal project.
Oh no.
Okay,
Coming
cool.
soon
Yes,
that, you know.
absolutely. Yeah. Young artist by the name of Kayla. She is a country artist.
Shout out to Kayla.
Yes, Kayla. And of course,
Where can we
Jarmon.
find her?
So her music is not out yet.
Okay, but
So-
can we follow her on socials?
Yeah. Kayla, I think it's. Hold on, I need to make sure I'm saying the right Instagram.
Yes, we have to follow her, and then you also have Jarmon.
Jarmon Davis.
If you
Yes.
all are not already following him, please check him out. Make
Yeah.
sure that you tune in, listen to his new single. Like number one is really it's positive, it's uplifting, it's amazing.
Yeah, she just goes by Kayla, and
Just
it's
Kayla?
like the So it's like the one. I think it's the one. So it's the lady, but lady the L is replaced by a 1,
Okay.
and then it's Lady K, and then it's underscore or 2 underscores.
Okay.
Yeah, that's hers.
So check her out, definitely. We want to encourage our, country music up and coming stars as much as, possible.
Absolutely.
So what else you got going on coming up that you can share with us though?
Yeah, so I'm working with another artist, April Eudora.
Mhm.
So she has a single, she actually has a single out now. We didn't do it, but shout out to my guy, Phil. He actually did her last single, but we have a song with her. She's supposed to be coming out with that soon, but it's also tied in, well, not that particular song. It's tied in with the movie that we did. I don't know if Bob talked to you about
No,
the
what movie?
BT movie we just finished. So the movie is called Sugar Baby.
Oh, that's cute. Okay,
And-
tell us about Sugar Baby.
Sugar Baby, I just learned what that term means. Do you know what that means?
Well,
Sugar baby?
I might not. I don't know. I think a sugar baby is somebody who gets, paid to be her, or a companion to someone who is a little older.
There you go.
Well,
Okay, so
you
you
know.
said it right. So
Okay,
Sugar
okay.
Baby,
Just
so there's
making
sugar
sure.
daddies and then there's sugar babies.
Yes.
So I didn't know that. So
What would you know there were?
Well, so the thing is, I just didn't know the other terms. I
Okay.
only know what women refer to.
Sugar daddies.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was never thinking about what the guys refer to the women.
It makes sense. Makes
So
sense.
so anyway, the movie is starring Lance Gross and I forgot the other lead actress name. They're both really great.
Mhm.
It's essentially about actually I'm just go check out the movie.
Okay, Sugar Babies.
Sugar Baby.
It's going to
But,
be on where?
It's on BET Plus.
Is it out now?
It's out now.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah.
going to watch it tonight, you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
BET Plus. We're going to watch Sugar Baby, and we're
Yes,
going to come
yes.
back and talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I was about to say I don't want to give the premise and tell you it's a good movie.
That's cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited to
So
hear
we
about
did the
that.
soundtrack for that, Star Makers, and we had a plethora of artists on it, and yeah, it was really great. So we're actually in the works to do a soundtrack release for that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we're just waiting to put that out. So that'll be the next step.
That'll be awesome. All right. So, question for you.
Sure.
What is the hardest part about working in the music industry, period?
I would say always being willing to number one remain teachable in those moments because it's always something to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some really talented friends
Mm-hmm.
that have kind of just stopped and did other things, and obviously I get it. But I think that ultimately it's a hard game in music. And if you're not having the mindset to switch, to
Yeah.
learn, to be, I always kind of go into certain situations where there's going to be problems.
Right.
And if I can think that way, I can be prepared mentally.
To kind of pivot
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And
Instead
have
of
a
going in
backup
like, oh,
plan.
it's going to be perfect, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
get knocked out of the water when
Yeah.
things aren't quite the way they're going to be the way life is going to be. Right?
It is. Shout out to my other homie, Steve-O. He's actually in LA. He's doing some amazing things. We constantly have these type of conversations,
Really.
and it's essentially learning other people's jobs so that way you can actually be. It's like a boss, but it's really more so I hated working with bosses that didn't understand my job.
Yeah, because they don't understand the value of it, unfortunately, in a lot of moments.
Well, more so in the technical space.
Oh,
Like knowing what it takes for me to
get it done.
get it done, you know? And so we have those conversations, and he was saying, man, I'm like at this point just learning everybody's job. So that way, when I'm over those situations as a production manager or whatever you have to do, you can understand lighting, understand the sound, understand, you know, stage etiquette and setting up, you know, risers and things of that nature, just understanding everybody's job and not coming off as the a-hole and saying, I need it done. Instead of that, just saying, okay, what's the problem? Okay, because I know that job, I can actually speak to it and help you find a solution.
Intelligibly at that.
It's important. I think that learning that be just always remaining teachable.
I think that's very important. Not just in music, that's in every aspect of life. I think you can definitely translate that across the board. Stay teachable, you know?
Absolutely.
And especially because in something like music, you don't know who knows more than you. So it could be a 7-year-old child that could walk up to you today or tomorrow and introduce you to something brand new.
There is kids right now that can do the things that I can do.
Those savants, you know, like they might blow your mind, but the fact is, you know, they exist. So to deny them would be a disservice to you, right?
Yeah, and also just being respectful to everybody. I think that just helps. You can change the tone of a room by doing that.
Say that. Yeah, that's respect. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It could go a long way in these days that we're in currently. Wouldn't you say so?
It changes the attitude of people. I've actually seen artists change their demeanor and their tone when I've been a part of their teams. But then I've been in spaces where I've come to support them, and they have other people in place, and they're just a wreck. They're like all over the place, and I'm like, wow, brother's changing some things.
How about that, right?
But it's just making things easier for not only yourself, but the artists and the band that you're over and things of that nature. It just makes the environment so much better because, like I said, something is going to go wrong.
Right. Regardless, because that's life.
Yeah.
We just know it will.
Yeah.
So tell me, okay, you play for Black Alley, for those who don't know.
My group, my God. Shout out to Black Alley. That's my group.
Yes. I mean, and I'm sorry to be the one to say it, but even people who are not that big a fan of go-go still give shouts out to Black Alley. I mean, sincerely, they're like, you know, a great. You all are a great band. Period.
Thank you so much.
Very talented.
Yeah.
So, how did you? Well, no, rewind. Do you remember your first go-go and who took you? And what did they take you? Who did they take you to see?
So I actually remember I told you I started as an R&B player.
Yes.
I was playing with this band called. It was a syllable. It was like not a syllable. It was like a. I want to say like a CCB or a TCB. But,
okay.
But it was a name. It was like a name like that. Where
some letters.
Letters. Yeah. I can't remember them now. But it was like underrated something. I can't think of it. But they had me come in and play. Now, first of all, I had heard go-go. Shout out to the legend. The legend. Chuck Brown.
Yes.
My father bumped Chuck Brown in the house, and I was immediately drawn to it, obviously because of the musicality.
Yes, period.
But the drums and the combos, like to this day, I can't even produce any records without my drums smacking like what I've grown up to. But anyway, so pretty much I was hearing go-go, and you know, I'm gonna do this. Is this on camera?
Yes.
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
how I became a musician really was this.
Yes.
Literally. I can't believe I remember to do that, but
literally.
But that was the first element of me loving music.
Now, tell me which teacher fussed at you for doing that the most.
All of them.
That was everywhere.
All of them.
That was,
Even my band teacher.
Foundations.
My Spanish teacher was cool with it, Miss
really?
Tacanelli, and she was. Shout
out to Miss Tacanelli. Who knew?
She let me. I would not be rambunctious in the class, but it would just be subtle. When we're waiting for something to happen, it was just like like a nervous
Second
tick
nature.
kind of thing. Yeah, second nature. Yeah. So I would just do it. But yeah. So
That's
my
so
first
cool.
go-go was
Playing.
was with that band, and we played it like a VFW.
Okay, but wait. So had you been to the go-go before you played at a go-go?
No, I had never
That's
been to
wild.
a go-go. Yeah, I had never been to a go-go. I had never been to the Black Hole. I'd never been to Ibex. I'd never been to none of those places, but I had all the tapes.
Right.
I mean, like, I definitely. So Backyard is my top band. Like, oh my God, yeah! Shout out to
you
Backyard.
might be a little biased too, though. I'm just at this point.
No. I'm telling you, my partner Bob Terry. Shout out to
Bob.
Shout out to Bob who plays with Backyard.
Yeah.
Before then, it was Backyard. Now I'm gonna tell you, the chain of command for me was Chuck Brown. Then it was Sugar Bear EU.
Mm-hmm.
Now, actually, my mom went to high school with Sugar Bear.
Really?
So she knows him. She knows his real name and everything. So I forgot what she said, but I'm not going to put it on the air what his real name is if he doesn't do it. But yeah, so it was them two, and then it was Backyard. Now, Backyard was my generation.
Right.
So that's where I was like, yeah, I love Chuck, I love EU, but Backyard speaks to my world.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to play Unabomber to my baby.
Oh my God, when Unabomber came out,
while I was pregnant, I used to play
down.
Unabomber and be in the car like
Chop the Unabomber. Man, that is still one of my favorite explode. It's funny. It almost felt like rock and roll.
It did. That's what it gives me. I don't understand why nobody. I haven't heard anybody else say that before.
It was the energy.
But that's what it gives me. Even to this day, like when I hear that, that's what type of feel that vibration gives me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So after them was, and shout out to this band. I'm not sure if they're still kind of rocking, but Optimistic Tribe. I don't know if you know about OP Tribe. They were some of my favorite. They were just in that musical space, and they reminded me of Backyard. They were kind of But OP Tribe was dope. Now, of course, obviously, you got Junkyard, you got Red Essence, you got all these. I mean, trust me, all of them were. I was just Nope's Grooves. I was a fan of all of them. I was just a sponge soaking up everything I heard. But yeah, I didn't go to a go-go. Honestly, my first go-go, like real go-go I went to was to see Backyard, and I think that was probably at the Ibex.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
wow. Yeah. And so wait, do you recall who you introduced go-go to for the first time? Like they'd never heard of it before and you were like, "Oh, you got to hear this."
Oh, it's easy. This is easy. Not
and
the
who
first
did you play
time.
for them?
Well, it's going to be Backyard. That's
okay.
But it wasn't I think it was more like when we were out playing, if we were traveling somewhere. So I was doing a lot of R&B. Yeah. But I was running with cassette tapes on the road. Yeah. So letting this had to be somebody who wasn't from the area. Right. I can't remember the artist in particular. But I introduced them to go-go. Oh, wow. And they were like, man, these drums is heavy. It was like the way they described, like, oh, the congos is way out front. And they were like in the mixed space, so they were talking technical. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, this is go-go. If you ever come to the city, go experience the go-go. It's hard to put go-go on wax and say this is what it is, right? You know, I was talking to people about that because my thing is that, when you go to, say, Nashville, right? Mm-hmm. You can't go to Nashville and not hear country music. Yeah, absolutely. You can't go to New Orleans and not think you're in a line. Yeah, second line. I could never think of that. You know what I kept saying? Not think you're in a Popeyes commercial. Second line is more accurate. Sorry, everybody. So you can't think, hear second line. So I feel like you shouldn't be able to come to DC and not hear go-go of some sort. I'm saying even if there's a band in the airport, like not necessarily one of our major bands or not all day, but each day there should be some type of semblance of the music of the city, I would think, You shouldn't have to go to the club to actually experience it. Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you I think that's the pinnacle to getting. That's the most important thing, to experience it live. Yeah. But if you don't experience it live, the DVDs and the MP3s of the music is good. Yeah. It's really, really good. but it's better when you just experience it or whatever.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like Chrisette Michelle. She's way better live. Have you worked with Chrisette Michelle before?
I've never worked with Chrisette,
I love her.
but I am definitely a fan. Look who's calling, Bob Terry.
Oh, wow. Shout out to Big Bob. We're busy.
I was calling
an interview,
because
sir.
Did you do the interview with him here or was it at the studio?
No, we haven't done Bob's interview yet. So
Okay.
I'm interviewing Big Bob from Backyard Band, but he wants a more formal interview. So he wants his interview edited and everything and pre-recorded and all that great stuff. But he has an editor, so who am I to complain, right?
We do have an editor. Yeah.
No, he has a personal editor, you know?
Well,
I mean,
okay.
since he had him, you know?
Okay.
Talking about Omar.
Oh, yeah, son.
Yeah, his son. Yeah, but so with regard to, okay, wait, first let's do take a minute to give a shout out to our sponsors. So this show is sponsored by the Fort Lauderdale Fiesta. Have you ever heard of the Fort Lauderdale Fiesta?
I haven't.
Oh, it's Memorial Day weekend. It's coming up again this Memorial Day. They're going to have new impressions. They're going to have Still Familiar is going to be there, and of course, What Band. So it should be awesome, definitely. So here's a quick little recap from last year and a little advertisement. If you want to make your reservations or you want more information, please visit celebrityfiesta.com. Celebrityfiesta.com, and it's being hosted by Rayo Rose.
Details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025. It's time to reserve your space for the 5th annual Fort Lauderdale Fiesta, featuring new impressions, What Band, and Still Familiar. Come visit us at thecelebrityfiesta.com for further details. See you Memorial Day weekend 2025.
And we're back, I think. I'm trying to make sure I come back because I can't see on the screen.
Okay.
All right, yes, we are back.
Okay.
Now, Smiles, we're sitting with Smiles, who is a wonderful musical genius, I'd say.
Oh,
He probably wouldn't say so, but I think so. I mean, what he can do, the average person can't do. Although I'm sure a lot of us fail to see our talents that way. What do you think?
I mean, I think everybody has a quiet genius when they find what they really, really, truly want to do. Because, I mean, there's passion there.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't know So I think it's really funny that we'll never see ourselves, right? And so because we can't literally see ourselves, we can only see reflections or other people's portraits, other people's feedback of ourselves. We can't see ourselves though. It's like we can't see our greatness, or we'll never really truly see our greatness. I've never met anybody who knew how amazing they really were.
Yeah, most I guess genius are usually on to the next thing.
Yeah.
In that career, in that field, in that passion. So
they
don't really have time to see their genius.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brandy Forte. Speaking of geniuses, she's one of those people. She created, she wrote a book called Stronger, and then she did a short film. Well, she's done the short film, but she comes out with things, and she's so productive, so she has a vision, she brings it to fruition, but I don't know if she realizes how amazing she is, kind of like yourself,
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you should definitely take note of that.
Oh, I shall.
So my show is all about why existing is not enough more than anything else. I don't know if you know, I think I told you, yes, I did. So my show was derived because my son passed away, right? And after he passed away, I wrote a book called Thank God I Didn't Kill Myself, a guide from self-care to self-love. And I realized that while we are all alive right now, there's a difference in being alive versus truly living, And so I think oftentimes we find ourselves just existing, just kind of playing possum and waiting for things to get a little easier. And specifically right now in 2025, where we're under this new administration and people are panicking and people are like, oh my gosh, I'm not participating. I'm just going to put my head in the sand for the next 4 years. Well, that's not realistic. A lot of stuff can happen in 4 years.
Absolutely.
And if your head is in the sand, then the willful ignorance will come for you while you're just existing.
Very true.
So can you give our viewers a few words on why existing is not enough for you in your life?
Okay. So I think that is just leaving an imprint in the world. Like, again, me and my boy was talking, and, he was saying blank was here. And I think that kind of already says enough. Recently we lost a musical giant in the DMV in the gospel space, Isaiah Thomas.
Oh yes.
And one of the big deals that sat with me that I appreciated was his sons. His sons all got up and said just remarkably beautiful things about him, and just how he was there, how he was present, how he gave them keys to the city, so to speak. He was just present. That I think that's enough of an impression to be who you need to be while you're here. Meaning, like, it's important to leave legacy behind.
Yes.
In the sense that, like, okay, so I'll say myself. Most of the time when I encounter somebody, I'm trying not to have a quick conversation with them. I'm trying to actually engage with them.
Right.
But obviously, in certain environments, you can't really have a 5 or 10 minute conversation with them.
Right.
But if I am in front of you, I'm going to acknowledge your presence. I'm going to look you in the eye.
Right.
And I'm going to try my best to show you how much I appreciate you being here.
Right.
I have a sweater that I bought like 6 of them now, but it says "You are enough."
I like that.
And then on the back of it, it says, the person in front of you wants you to know that I appreciate you being here and I love you. It's something like toward that effect or whatever. So, I mean, I can't tell you countless people that have stopped me and said, thank you for this.
Yeah.
And honestly, that really does help to make people, or not make people, but to help people to be back in a healthier space, because you just never know what people are going through. Like
Literally.
what you were sharing, of the loss of your son. Again, sorry for that and everything. I appreciate you sharing that with me before we even did the interview. That was actually one of the reasons why I was like, oh yeah, I'll do this.
Well,
and
thank you. I appreciate
and a lot of people will tell you I actually don't do a lot of interviews. This is the second one.
Really?
Second one.
Well, thank you. I feel very honored, truly. I was honored already, but now I'm even more honored.
Yeah. But I would say just finding a way to leave an impression positively on people.
Yeah.
Because you just never know what a person's what it's going through.
That's so true.
We had a friend in our personal circle that was dealing with some mental health issues and talking about suicide. I would have never expected anybody so close. You see it, you hear about it, it seems a little bit removed from you.
Right.
It's like more of like seeing a meme.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, that meme doesn't really apply to me.
Yes.
And then you have somebody in your circle, you're like, oh my goodness, I really need to make sure I'm there for my friend, number one. But also it prompts you to just say, let me just treat people right. Let me just give people, that respect that they deserve, that I see you.
Yeah.
And I want to be there for you for whatever long period, if it's a longer period or if it's for 5 seconds.
Right.
Even if I go to like the bar, like, I'll show love to the bartender, not just a tip. I'm like, yo, thank you, man. I tell you put some love in the drink. Like those little things, you just never know how they are dealing with their lives for the day, for the moment, for the hour, for the second.
Yes, that's so true.
It's like almost like a ripple effect. Putting that pond, that rock in the pond, and having it ripple in a positive way.
Right.
I prefer that.
I love that, because no matter what you do, there's going to be a trickle down effect, right? Yeah. No matter what you do or don't do in life, you're going to leave an impact. Yeah. The question is, what kind of impact are you going to leave, right?
Super, super important.
I'm just saying, I think that's so dope. Like, and when you talk about the ripple effect, I was just talking to people about, all of these federal workers are losing their jobs, right? First off, from an HR standpoint, let me just say to anybody who doesn't know, you don't want to compete with a federal government worker in private sector, resume to resume, honey. Okay. First off, 9 times out of 10, they were underpaid at first anyway. Okay. Yeah. Secondly, they had to have a degree. So you better hope your degrees are matching,
Right,
and then let's take all that into account. Okay. You both have degrees, right? That's great. You both graduated. You both have experience. They worked for one person for how long? You probably have had 3 jobs if you're in private sector minimum, So automatically they have longevity. From an HR standpoint, I'd pick them over you on paper. I'm just saying. Just saying. And then while we're talking about that, DEI, it's not a black thing, okay? Let's get that straight. First and foremost, the number one recipient by exclusions or qualifications, rather, should I say, would be white women. Outside of them, let's think about all the veterans, who get points added to their applications as soon as they fill out the application and check off, I'm a veteran, I'm a disabled status. These are the people that we're affecting, not these black people that we think we're going to keep from getting the job at wherever it is. I don't know where. I don't know.
And ultimately, we're qualified for that.
Yeah.
Job. So it's
exactly.
It's not a problem. Like, it doesn't. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I've been in human resources for over 25 years, and I've literally never. We have people. What we've always had to look for other people. Seriously, we've had to look for white women. We've had to look for Latino women. Wow. But I've never heard the word come down like, hey, we don't have enough black people. I'm just saying. So be very aware and be very cautious while we're just panicking and like, oh no, this is happening, and just being very presumptuous, and maybe look into things a little further on our own. And don't be so blissful or happy about other people's displacement or downtrodden moments, because you never know what somebody's dealing with, in all honesty. And that ripple effect, like we were just saying, it's going to hit us all in some way, shape, or form, whether it's your cousin, your friend, your family member, or at your job. You never know, but it's going to hit you. And so therefore, realize that we're all one and we're all connected, right? Absolutely. And ultimately, whatever I do or say or whatever happens to me is going to have some impact on you and your world as well, especially if it's such a large number of us, being impacted. So I just wanted to say that for a moment.
Well said.
So, all right. Now, with regard to your career, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the highest high that you've had in your career? The moment where you were like, oh, this is it whole time. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm ready to retire money-wise, but accomplishment, did it? What moment gave you that feeling?
So it's actually really, really a special moment. And it was with Black Alley. Shout out to Black Alley.
Shout out.
We did a USO tour.
Uh-huh.
And well, it wasn't called USO tour, but it was essentially a USO tour. So we went to Bahrain, Jordan, Dubai. We went to Djibouti. We went to all these places and went and entertained the troops.
Oh, wow.
So for years prior to all that happening, and obviously this is maybe about 5 years ago, we did that tour. Was it 5 years? Anyway, time before that, I had been saying, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. And saying it just out of habit, but to actually go and entertain them.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, go see how they live.
Right.
How they're away from their families.
Yeah.
How this is all they do.
Right.
Like for hours of every day, essentially. Just to entertain them. And then when we actually perform, to see them, I mean, some people don't have rhythm. Right?
Yes,
I'm not saying everybody, but just to see them lose it, and just be free, and you could tell that they're just being free. Obviously, from the experience of a band and the sound that we have, but also it's something they never heard,
right?
And then just they just let themselves go for that. I think we were entertaining them for about maybe an hour and a half or so, and just to see them let loose.
Yeah.
And then after that, we were signing autographs and taking pictures and everything,
so dope.
Which is always weird for me personally.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm not used to the autograph thing. But to do that and to take pictures with them and say thank you for your service in person, to see in that space was one of the most fulfilling tours I've ever been a part of.
Oh, that's so amazing. The reason I love so much you sharing that is not only... Okay, so we're always talking about why is it that go-go can't make its, break into the mainstream, mainstream music and mainstream media and everything. Why are we not so prevalent, But for you just ran down how many, different places, definitely outside of the DMV,
Yes.
that you all were not just playing, but well received.
Well
and
received.
you
We were just in
know,
Cuba.
yeah,
And
that is
they
amazing.
loved us. They
See,
loved the sound. They loved the experience of both venues. We did some master classes. That's the other thing. We were doing master classes with kids
that's
and
awesome.
teaching them how to play a pocket.
Oh,
how
that's
to-
so dope.
Like how to actually play like certain music and everything. And shout out to Cameron Poles, who's the manager for Black Alley. He would facilitate the master class with a history lesson of how go-go came about, how it's predominantly black folks, and the superintendents, and we had first DC black mayor and everything, things of that nature, whatever. Like, so he would give like the history of go-go, and then we would follow up with showing how go-go started, how it's evolved, and then how we do it and everything. And so
I love that. I really love that. That's what I'm talking about.
Money can't
Yeah.
pay for those experiences.
Yeah, seriously. And not only that, but you all are spreading the genre. Like literally, you just said you're teaching it, not just exposing people to it, but teaching people how to get it right. So they're not just out here willy-nilly and trying to hit a pocket. There's, there's some skill behind it, some training.
In Africa, we've done it
awesome.
in so many different places. It's been great. I mean, like those are very, very fulfilling. And not saying that the other tours that I've done with other artists have not been fulfilling, because they are insane. Like that experience of performing for an audience where I could easily go back to my mom's apartment, sitting there playing on the piano and the keyboard, trying to figure out that, to translating to playing in front of 5,000-10,000 folks, or playing on a TV show where they're saying and cut. That's
crazy.
That experience is very, very I don't know. It's like not even a word for that. I mean, surreal is perfect. But I don't even have a real true word to describe what that experience is like. It's just, it's bigger than anything you can imagine.
Tell me, do you meditate at all?
No, I pray.
I was asking that because I was just wondering, have you ever taken the time to like meditate on that, how you felt sitting at the keyboard, you know what I mean, in your mom's house, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure things out, to how you felt, you know what I mean, standing on that stage, looking out in front of the first, let's say 10,000, the first 10,000 size audience that you've had before. Like that would probably be a very interesting reflection for you. I would encourage you to do it. Okay,
I'm down to try it.
Oftentimes we all, we were, most of us in the Black, American households were raised Christian.
Yeah.
And so therefore we were raised Christian, but we weren't necessarily raised to meditate, which seems a little weird to me now that I'm older. Only because we all know that, in silence, and we know in the Bible it says in silence is where we truly find connection with God, right? Where we're really able to connect and commune. So why aren't we taught to sit down and shut up sometimes and listen?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think meditation can definitely be a part of that process.
Yeah.
Of, reflecting on those things and making sure that you can understand that experience. And like for me, it's always adrenaline.
Yeah.
That's happening. And then that adrenaline is massive.
Well,
but that adrenaline still happens in smaller environments too.
Yeah, definitely. Because when I don't know if I told you, but I used to perform. But performing in front of small groups is definitely, I don't know, I can feel that more than performing in front of at the Superdome.
It's
harder.
What I mean?
Yeah, at the Superdome I couldn't see anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You couldn't touch me if you wanted to,
Very true.
But let's say at the police precinct. At the police precinct, where is that? Right there by on Benning Road, right there. That police precinct by the Denny's and stuff. Yeah. That's the first place I ever drove to. Right there between the funeral home and the police precinct. My mother said if I crashed and killed us, we were in the right place. So, thank you, Henry Hayes. So, that's where she took me to drive. But so we were performing there, and imagine, first off, it's the police.
Yeah.
Secondly, we were like kind of young or whatever, and we're singing, and I'm just like looking around, and you can see everybody. And they didn't look that friendly. I'm just going to say, maybe it was the blue. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was whatever I had done illegal in the last, week or so. Anytime too many police are around me, I think, what did I do wrong? I did something. I know I did.
Man,
Am I speeding?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But so with regard to someone who may be watching you right now, who may be like, hey, I want to be the next Shawn Miles, what would you say, or what bit of advice can you give them outside of consistency? We all know keep trying, and we all know you have to fail in order to succeed. But what can you give them as a little tidbit as to how they can kind of take that jump or make that pivot?
Mm-hmm. So I would say I have a very common saying, and it's always remain teachable.
Mm-hmm.
That's the surface simple way to describe it.
Right.
But I think it's a little bit more than that. If you're in the entertainment space of it, because there's some just regular performers, and I don't mean regular, but just performance aspect where it's like I'm just doing a gig.
Yeah, standard. Yes.
But then there's another side that says, I want to be in pocket with the energy of the artist.
Yes.
There's a fashion thing that you need to step up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a look, there's identity.
Mm-hmm.
I've been blessed to be in certain situations where they'll try to style us if they felt like they want to be specific.
Right.
But most of the guys I'm choosing, like for instance, Mel Chung.
Shout out to Guitar Boy Man.
Yes. Mel is fashion forward. Like even if he's just taking off his shirt and showing it top of me, everybody loves that energy on the stage.
Right.
And so that's like your Hollywood space where you're actually an artist too.
Yeah.
You're not just a performer up there. You're actually an
part
artist
of the
too.
show. Yeah.
And so people will say, "Hey, can we take a picture?"
Yeah.
You musicians, we're not just the musician, we're artists.
Yeah.
And if you can tap into that mindset to say that, you know what, as I accept this gig with you, I appreciate it, I'm looking forward to it or whatever, and obviously not step over their toes.
Right.
You don't want to be bigger than the artist, but just match that energy.
Yeah.
Because it helps. I mean, in my space, when I walked in with what's considered a big artist, what's helped me is to make a joke with them. Just check their energy there, because the thing is, I'm not disregarding their level of fame, but I'm just kind of reminding them in that moment that I acknowledge who you are,
right? But
we're in this together. You got me on the stage with you because you trust me to enhance what you're already able to do. So, for instance, when I first worked with Genuine, when he walked in the room, everybody was uptight and nervous and everything, and I was like, Genuine, man, look, bro, it's good to meet you, man. You know how much I don't want to say it too much, but I was like, you know how many girls I was hanging out with this particular record?
Right.
Thank you. That was my introduction to
it.
And so for that, it kind of put him in a better space where he didn't have to be very uptight. He could loosen up. He could, let his hair down, so to speak, or whatever, And I think that type of energy for any of the younger musicians, if you can connect with that artist, not just as a player, you'll be memorable to them.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, you know what? I'm pulling up back to the city. I remember that guy Smiles. He had good energy. Have management reach out to him, and see if he can put something together for me. Yeah. And it's not that I'm the best player. I just made him feel comfortable.
Yeah, because it should be more of a partnership, correct? Instead of a employer-employee type of relationship, right?
Skill meeting, everyday experiences where I'm going to a bank and me and the bank teller is cool after the interaction because I'm just being cool.
Wait, I do that. So some people hate that about me too, but my kids might actually. But my kids do it now too. I talk to people anywhere. So I went to school in Selma, Alabama. For people who are always wondering why I don't act like I'm from here, maybe that's part of it. Because when I got down there, they were like, "You're so rude if you walk in a room and you don't speak to the people that are in the room already. Like, did we sleep with you?"
Yeah.
Like, they were really offended. These girls like schooled me. Like, listen, Queen, because they used to call me Queen. Nice. But they're like, listen, Queen. Actually, that's how it came out. Queen. Listen, Queen, when you walk in the room, you're supposed to speak to everybody in the room. Nobody's supposed to speak to you, you know? So now it's literally second nature. I'm walking down the street. If somebody's staring at me, they may think the worst thing in the world about me. I don't know. Mm-hmm. When I see them staring at me, I'm like, hey, how are you? Mm-hmm. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, that's amazing. So I was not taught that. Mm-hmm. I just watched it. So my grandfather, rest in peace, he was that type of guy where wherever he went, he commanded the room to be respectful to each other. Yeah. So much so, that was one of the biggest things I got from it. So when I go to Chipotle, they might start off by like, oh, what do you want? I was like, hey, how you doing? Right. I'll literally stop them. And it really helps to check a person's attitude because I'm reminding you that you're human. You do matter and everything or whatever. So even though you're working this job, you know, we're going to have that quick moment. Yeah, you're doing something I want. You're helping me out too, you know? Yeah. I know I'm paying, but you're not getting all this money anyway, you know? Right. You're literally helping me get what I want. Yeah, so that same energy, just carrying it over everywhere. And, you know, I know some friends that actually deal with anxiety and they are very recluse and very introverted and everything. So it might be a little difficult when you get in those spaces when you're performing. But if you can find a way to smile, or you know, even if you're nervous where people look I wear glasses because I don't know where the cameras are. And I know my eyes will go crazy or I'll be on the camera. You know, but that helps because for pictures, for the cameras, for, you know, me getting direction from the artist versus, you know, me giving direction to the band. These glasses will help that vibe and everything. And also it just doesn't make people be so nervous because I don't have intense eyes, but I will stare a person down, you know. A little bit. Just a little bit. These baby browns will stare you down. Yeah, so straight in the soul. Yeah, and some people do feel intimidated. So I had to learn that you know, look in then look away, you know, just to kind of make them feel comfortable because I recognize the type of person I'm dealing with in that moment. Yeah, you know, because some people are very insecure. They look down. They really are. Yeah, and that's okay. I don't think that is my job to point that out. I want to match their energy because I don't want them to feel intimidated or, you know, I don't want to be around him. He's a little too intense. Yeah. I'm always trying to disarm people. So when I see people, even when I'm in the audience, if I'm in an audience and you're singing or you're speaking or whatever, I don't care if it's an audience of 5 people. I sit there the whole time. If you're the most boring person ever, and I'm like this. I'm a little different. Or if you're singing and you sound horrible, I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, I'll egg you on. I'll be like, oh, sing it, no, sing it, I you know. But the thing is that it really helps though. Well, because I've been up there so many times, and I've been speaking, or I've been singing, or rapping, or whatever, right? And people are like this, looking at you like they're gonna fight you afterwards, you know, and that. While you're nervous already, that just adds to it, you know? Yes. So just like I try to be a good customer when I go to, say, Chipotle or whatever, I try to be a good audience member too, a good congregational member too. When the pastor's talking, I don't let him talk to himself. You're right! That's what I'm talking about! Yeah! F the devil! You know what I'm saying? That's me, you know? That's where I come from with it. That's amazing. So, you know, I'm just saying you got to feel supported. But I feel like that's important anywhere in life. And so that's why I have the Inspire series. I'm going to start going, my plan is to start going to schools next. So we want to start going out to schools and youth events to have them grab the mic and inspire, you know? Definitely keep the mission going. It's a challenge. I think this is great. I think what you're doing is insanely amazing and needed in this particular community. I cheers to you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Again, happy birthday to you. Yes! It's Pisces season! Yeah. As I said, glove out here. Okay. You know, glove.
The water? No.
No, I'm not hip to.
No, he said I'm not a Pisces at all. So look, okay, we're almost out of time, but as we're wrapping up though, can you tell me, for somebody that has worked seriously in the DMV area with, you know, go-go music, beyond the DMV area with go-go music, but also you've worked in regular mainstream music as well. What would you say is the vast difference between go-go music and the other music genres or mainstream music? And why is go-go not picked up? What do you think is the holdup?
So I think it's kind of like a regional style of music. I mean, because if you think about it, like trap music in Atlanta was not popular.
Right.
You know, hip hop in its core was not initially popular.
Yeah.
So I think that is still a thing that the world kind of needs to catch up. But also at the same time, it is a sonics thing that I'm getting very nerdy and technical.
Go ahead. We like nerds.
But there's certain things like we like nerds.
We do. Smart people rule the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you play a certain records up against certain records that hit in the club, there's a certain mix that needs to match. Like, so if a DJ is spinning this record to this record, like if we spent a Chuck Brown record to a Drake record or to a Kendrick record, I'm sorry, I just said them too. That's crazy. I think it's just all on all our minds.
We don't even acknowledge Drake right now. Go ahead. He's in timeout. Go ahead.
We can't not acknowledge those hits and those amazingly mixed records.
You're right.
That's essentially. I mean, obviously.
Or Adonis.
Yeah. I mean, I can even go overseas to like dance music or dance hall and Afrobeats and everything. Those sonics don't always quite match up.
Right.
So it's kind of like people just got to get used to that sound. Like trap music with those little hi-hats and the snares, rolls and everything. That was probably a little bit jarring at first for people. And so they couldn't really appreciate it. But over time, they started to appreciate it.
Right.
And I think that that's something that the go-go community, we can find a balance to match those sonics, and maybe that can be introduced. So, for instance, think about Doing the Butt. That song is one of the biggest go-go songs, to my knowledge, that came out. But that was a synthetic. Those were synthetic instruments or whatever. You know, they were not real, actual instrumentalists. Right. Or whatever. So, you know, those sonics were speaking to the market at that time and everything. So I think that there's a few things that need to happen for it to be more of a mainstream commercial sound. But that's really what popular music is. I mean, pop music is just popular music.
Exactly.
So I think that we have the sounds. I think we have the talent. I think we have the skill. I just think that we have to find a way to maybe balance it out so that way the world can appreciate it.
Right.
And then adapt to it, and then they can get the full
unload
scope
on
of it.
them. Yeah, I think that's a very good perspective. I think that was a very good take on that question, actually. I appreciate you for that. So now as I said, we're about to wrap up. We don't have a lot more. Oh, wait, before we go, let's give another shout out to our sponsors, the Fort Lauderdale Fiesta. If you have not already reserved your space, please go on to celebrityfiesta.com to get more information as well as to reserve your slot. It costs $50, I believe, as a down payment for your first payment, and then you can pay along the way. Again, celebrityfiesta.com for more information. Now, with regard to moving forward, right? What would be your optimum ideal, like, next move? Like, what would be the best thing that could happen? I mean, you've done so much. What would be next? What could top all that you've done? Like, what could really blow your mind still? Is there anything?
I'm not going to say I have low expectations, but learning new styles of music is actually really exciting. It's funny, and this is I'm not trying to intentionally name drop, but I did a podcast some years ago, and at the end of the podcast, the last question he asked was, what would be like a futuristic goal for you? And I was
Right.
like, man, I love Afrobeat music. I would love to play for an Afrobeat A-list pop artist.
Who you gonna play for?
And I got an opportunity to MD for Tim's or whatever. And that was at Broccoli City Fest.
It's the musical director portion when you just said you wanted to play for. If I could just play Afro beats for somebody, that's what you basically said.
But
your manifesting is off the chain. Can I say?
I appreciate that.
If anybody asks you how you doing, just say blessed and highly favored.
Blessed and highly favored.
Yeah.
I spoke it, and that really manifests in a major way. It wasn't like a low level.
Right.
I was so shocked. And shout out to my guy RC. He actually
shout out to RC.
Rylan Anderson,
Yes.
RC. He actually he got called for it initially, and he knew that I was very into a lot of different styles, and he gave me the opportunity. And so got an opportunity to play for Tim's, and I was able to bring my team in, and I'm talking about like my guys. So and it went really well and everything, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, just to have that experience. So I guess now being in the country space, maybe to get an opportunity with a big country artist, that would be fun.
That would be dope.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really. I'd be really excited for that.
I'm coming back here and I'm going to tell you about it.
That's right. You heard it first here. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Okay, where can people follow you for people that don't already have your information? I do have it, listed, but
yeah, absolutely. So, I feel bad. I'm not really on my Facebook often.
At all.
Yeah. I'm doing it. I promise I'm gonna get better at it. But that's just Sean Miles on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Smiles Life.
I'm gonna post it here in the chat.
Yeah. Smiles Life. Yeah,
isn't it L-I-F-E?
L-I-F-E, yeah.
Yeah.
Spelled normal. That's on Instagram. And I'm on TikTok as Key Smiles.
I'm not even gonna ask.
I mean on TikTok, sorry, yeah.
On TikTok
is Smiles. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing too, actually. It's Key Smiles Life. Sorry.
Key Smiles Life.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Facebook is just the regular one. Yeah.
All right, and so I put that down at the bottom of the screen. You all should see it up there currently. So, let me put me back on screen. I'm the engineer in case anybody was wondering.
I see you moving. That's what's up. I'm learning that actually watching.
Below me, it says at Smiles Life is his Instagram, and TikTok, Key Smiles Life. So go follow him definitely. Make sure you're staying tuned for updates, for what's popping next, what Mrs. Miles is cooking in the kitchen. Hopefully we can get some sneak peeks. Although I didn't see any food stuff on your page. I might have just been hungry though.
Well, yeah. I try to show music.
You're like music is what I do. Yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah. But so I really appreciate you coming out here. I really appreciate you more than anything else being the best you can be though. Because you're pretty awesome at it. And there's nobody out here better suited for the job, wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
Nobody else could be a better Sean Miles than Sean Miles.
Absolutely right.
I appreciate you. And so wait, one last thing. Okay, one last thing. So now, with regard to yourself, and how you do remain, the best you can be every day. Mm-hmm. How do you do that? How do you keep yourself, on 10?
Well, I think
your wife, I'm sure, is a big part.
She's definitely a big part of it. I would definitely. So I'm a Christian man, and I think prayer and keeping yourself balanced in that space is super key.
Yeah.
Also, just staying up on your craft.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who have a job, but I have a career. And I think that career is it's a drive. I always make the joke, and if you're listening and you've hired me, no, I still plan on taking your money, but if I never needed money, I would never charge for what I do.
Oh, that's amazing. And I think that says the ultimate right there. Because
Yeah.
when you're doing what you love, you never work a day in your life. That's what they say, right?
Absolutely, 150%.
So I think that says a lot. So the money is a plus.
Yeah, the money is needed because I got a wife.
And you live in a capitalistic society.
Yes, we do.
However,
We
comma.
do. Yeah.
But that's amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming out. We'll definitely be staying tuned for your new projects. You have to send them to me so I can make sure that I'm posting them.
I will. I definitely will.
And you all have to stay tuned as well. If you have any questions or anything, of course, I want to sit down with him again, and we will see about getting him rescheduled. He was pretty good about scheduling, I must say.
Oh, cool.
Shout out for that, too.
Okay,
Your communication isn't on E. I've definitely experienced some deep ones.
Well, we're going to do these cupcakes?
Yes, we're going to go ahead and bust open the cupcakes.
Yeah,
Shout out to Iverson Mall, the Snickerdoodle place, whatever it's called, because we went and got them from there. So, yes, we have the Snickerdoodle cupcake, and then we have the sweet potato cupcake. Okay. So the Snickerdoodle is for you, but I'm a sweet potato, I figured. So, sweet potatoes for me.
Can't wait to get to this.
Thank you again for coming out, Smiles. You've been amazing. And thank you all for tuning in. So we are going to go ahead, and if you have not, what are you going to do? You're going to check out the celebrityfiesta.com so that you can reserve your space for the Fort Lauderdale Fiesta for Memorial Day weekend. I'm just saying. I hope I get to see you all there. If you have any red carpet hosting needs, please reach out to me because I so love hosting red carpets and it's so my zhuzh. I'm just saying. Any event, whether it's a red carpet, a special event, whatever it is, just holler at your girl and I will see you there. Thank you.